Hello everyone and welcome back to the.universary. Today we have two small claims cases. The first is a default before Judge Jeffrey Middleton, but I included it not because the case itself is particularly interesting. It's my favorite thing. There is a very charming Middleton moment in the midst of this case, so thought it is worth a watch. Hope you enjoy.
First matter we're going to take up is Lynn's Garage versus Samantha Kelly. Mr. Warren Johncock is here on behalf of Lynn's Garage. Mr. Johncock, what's your position at Lynn's Garage?
I own the place.
You own the place?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I thought Lynn Hayes still owned it. How long have you owned it?
13 years.
I'll tell you how clued in I am.
Yeah, Lynn Hayes been gone for about 6 years now.
Yes.
He passed away.
Yeah, I guess I did know that now that you mention it. All right, Mr. Johncock, would you raise your right hand? You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
I don't know that you've ever brought a case here before, which means most of your clients must pay.
Yes.
This is a claim for $959. You allege that she received auto service and failed to pay for the vehicle repair. She isn't here, so she's subject to default. What did you do to her car?
We put a used rear differential in it. She paid, she authorized repairs in December. We finished it towards the end of December. She paid $320 on January 4th, said she'd be in a couple of days with some more money, and said that the state was going to pay $900. I would not have let her take the vehicle if I had remembered that in 9/22, she did not pay me for $157 for another repair. And if I would have remembered that, I would not have let her take her vehicle. And I've tried contacting her multiple times through
What did you do to the car again?
Put a used rear differential in it.
Okay.
That the rear tires bolt to.
Well, you win by default because she's not here. Now, this is the easy part. Getting the judgment is the easy part. Getting the money is the harder part. But damages are $959.54. Costs are $63.50. Default is $1,023.04. I used to get quite a few auto repair cases, Curly's and Sturgis, and some others. But as you mentioned, the dealership has the authority to hold on to the car until they pay. But she was served at the same address that you have for her. And so that address is still valid.
I have drove by her house and I've seen it there.
All right. Well, after 21 days, you can pursue collections like seizing property or bank accounts or that sort of thing. Here is my suggestion. You can go into the counter and the clerks will give you this order. After 21 days, if she does not pay, I would come back over here and ask for what's called a discovery subpoena. And that compels her to come to court and provide information about her ability to pay, like bank account numbers, social security numbers, VIN numbers of vehicles or boats or snowmobiles. And it generally starts the process of the people getting paid. So I find on your behalf for the amount pled, $1,023.04. If you go out to the counter, the clerk will give you a copy of that order and maybe she'll pay. If not, come back here and ask for a discovery subpoena.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
All right. Well, you're good to go.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So I hope you enjoyed that first one. The second case is before the Honorable Judge Buckley out of Thurston County, Washington. We have Kathy McLaren versus Casey Williams, and this is a confusing, is it rent that I'm paying you? Are you paying me to do work on the house? And there's some back and forth about who owes what, how much, who owes who, how much money. So hope you enjoy.
All right, and you're Miss McLaren?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right, very good. All right, and just give me a second here while I get my files reopened up here. Okay, so this is Miss Williams's claim against Miss McLaren for $10,000 for rent. Now, you didn't submit anything else, just the claim form.
Yeah, I
right?
didn't know that you were supposed to, I thought you submitted today. I have documents right now.
All right, and Miss McLaren did submit some things that were reviewed. Okay, can I have you both raise your right hands, please? And do you both swear that the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right then, Miss Williams, go right ahead.
Okay, I moved into Kathy's house at the beginning of October. And there wasn't any talk about rent at the time, but I knew I'd have to pay something. I'm staying at her house. So so when I got paid for my disability retirement, I gave her $10,000 cash to keep, as like a security for rent, or whatever we needed or whatever. And on January 1st, I wasn't staying there anymore. I had a mental breakdown. I don't know what happened. It happened last January. I was in a mental hospital. It's just something that happens. I got diagnosed with mania, schizophrenia, and other mental health conditions.
Okay.
But at the time I was there for those a couple of months. My friend George, I have a written statement here. Can I bring it up, Your Honor?
Mhm.
The things that he fixed, and I paid him to do it.
Yep.
And I paid for the supplies as well. While I was there. I mean, I tried I was actually generous, because I love her. And so when I asked her for the money back, and I asked her for the money back on January 25th, because me and my kids are homeless and we're staying in a car or a hotel. And I texted her, and can I bring this up, Your Honor?
Sure, bring it up.
This is the texts between me and Kathy about the money that I gave her. And I just think it's unfair that you're keeping 10,000. I had a friend fix electrical in your house, 2 toilets in your house.
Talk to me.
Oh, sorry.
Don't talk to her.
No, I was just talking down. Sorry, Your Honor. And the toilets and the caulking in her house for the fireplace. And George also helped us get before at the end of December, before I stopped staying there. George and I helped her get cords of wood, and it took us all day. And she said that I paid for that. I gave her $500 cash. So, I spent a lot of money there. I'm just asking for my money back. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So what if I'm owed?
Okay, can I ask you a couple questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I also have another document for you, Your Honor. And this is the cash that I withdrew from the account. On
That's
December 31st.
It's a bank statement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. So you moved into her place in October of 2023,
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
you moved out in January 2024.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you gave her $10,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
And your understanding, tell me your understanding of what that $10,000 was for.
It was for rent, like if I couldn't pay it or whatnot. We didn't really have an agreement, to be honest. It was just, I didn't want her to stress out, because we were there too. So I'm gonna pay my share, you know?
Was Miss McLaren living there? as
Yes,
well?
Your Honor.
All right. I'm just trying to pin down
Okay.
what the, you know, if she owes you $10,000, it's gonna be because of some legal reason,
Mhm.
right? And I'm trying to pin down what the mutual understanding between the two of you was as to what that $10,000 was for, and under what conditions. I mean, how would she know
Mhm.
that she was supposed to give it back?
Because I gave it to her for rent. I'm not staying there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, but how much was the rent?
I thought it was $1,200.
Why did you think it was
I
12?
just assumed that. I mean, I'm renting a room in her house. There was no verbal, um, there was no verbal agreement on the rent, because when I was speaking to her, she said it was $2,500. Which, you know, whatever, it's her home, you know, I can't put a price on her home, like what she feels that it is a month. So I don't want to even do that.
Right.
But I mean, my friend was out there working on her house. We did dump runs. He helped us with the wood. He fixed her electrical.
Okay, so and then you spent, or you paid this person, Mr. Thomas, to do this work here, $2,000?
Yeah, for gas and everything coming out there. Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and then this all ended in January, and your contention is that she needs to pay you $10,000, because that reflects a portion of that money that you gave her that was not used for rent, and also the expenses that you put into the repairs at her house, and like getting her wood.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything you left out that you think you need to say?
No, I know, Your Honor. I mean, I just believe if she believes rent was $2,500, I understand that. I would even pay that. Like, I'm not trying to lie or cheat anyone in my lifetime. If she believes it's $2,500 when I don't believe it is, I'm gonna go with a homeowner. Like, I don't know.
All right, then if you're done, I'll go ahead and hear her side of it and then make a decision.
Oh.
All right, so Miss McLaren, let me
Yes.
hear your.
Yes, we did not have a rental agreement. We did not have any receipts for anything. So Casey is right there. She did give me the cash. And then when she had her breakdown, and I didn't understand what was happening with her. So I just emotionally could not handle what I was watching. So after she told me she hated me, I had to ask her to leave, and that was in January. Her friend George did come out, and he replaced. There was a wire that had been chewed. A rat had chewed it, so the lights in the laundry room didn't work, and he fixed that. And the toilet, he installed one toilet downstairs, and then the filter and the that brings the water in was clogged. And the caulking on the wood stove, that I believe, I just don't remember that it was just a caulking gun, and we sealed where the pipe attaches to the stove. The $500 she gave me was for the electrical bill that had gone up doubled, while I had all these people in my house. I paid for the wood. It was $800 out of the rent money that she gave me. And I have sent you all the exhibits and the timeline of how everything happened. So I guess if you have that on your record, I guess that's all all I have to say. But I just feel that this is a wash, that I don't owe her $10,000. She did stay at my house 3 months. I am missing a couch. I asked her about that. And she said she had no idea where it went. And then there was some things that she said she didn't take, but things that are missing out of my wedding venue as well. And she still has all of her belongings at my house for so they're just still down there. So I can't really re-rent the house or re-rent the room or anything like that because her things are still here. So I just feel like it's all a wash. That's my opinion.
All right, and Ms. McLaren, Ms. Williams tell me if I'm wrong about my understanding of the relationship, but she would be your stepdaughter?
No, she was my deceased husband's half sister.
Okay, so like a sister-in-law then.
Yeah, sister-in-law.
Okay, I understand now. I just wanted to clarify that. All right. And yes, in answer to your question, Ms. McLaren, the exhibits that you submitted before are already part of the record, and I did get a chance to review those as part of your case.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right. I mean, the truth is it's hard to pin this down, exactly. But when you make a claim like this, Ms. Williams, you have a burden of proof. So you have to prove by a preponderance of the evidence, which means the greater weight of the evidence, that your claim is, that you're entitled to this money for the reasons that you say. And, broadly speaking, the reasons that you say are that, this was a rental essentially situation, and that you didn't, I guess, get the value for the money that you thought you were entitled to based on the amount of money that you gave to Ms. McLaren, and that you're due some of that back because of the fact that you weren't there for very long, and that you paid some money for some expenses or some repairs that essentially maybe Ms. McLaren benefited from. But the problem is, I can't, based on what I've heard and what I've read in the record and what I've read from the exhibits that you've given me, I can't make a finding by a preponderance of the evidence exactly, or even to any degree of certainty, what the agreement was. In other words, who had what responsibilities, who had a duty to the other, how much money was agreed to change hands in exchange for, the rent over your head or for the work that was done around the place. There's just no way to account for that. There's no way that I can do that with any degree of certainty. Now, people have living arrangements together all the time, some of which are formal and some of which are not formal. And people who are, I would say like friends and family fall into this category. They do this informally, and they don't have an agreement because they feel that one isn't necessary. They're sharing things like expenses. They're sharing things like, ongoing operational costs. They're sharing groceries. They're sharing, the roof over their head, and nobody's overly concerned about the actual financial value of each of those things. Somebody might mow the lawn, somebody else might buy the groceries. You're probably familiar with that. That tends to be what friends and family do. Others do a more formal process. I mean, obviously, landlords and tenants do this all the time because they're strangers and they're just doing business.
Yeah.
And they have a more formalized agreement, obviously, which is usually in writing, and it specifies, how much is the rent every month, how much is the utilities every month, what are each other's responsibilities to perform for the other, to keep the place in good repair, to, make ongoing and routine sort of maintenance things. It's all spelled out. And that way, if somebody didn't live up to their end of the deal, you know exactly what the deal was, how much that cost, and you can assign responsibility for it. We can't really do that here. I mean, we just can't do that here based on this evidence. So what I'm telling you, Ms. Williams, is you haven't proved your case. At least you haven't proved to the court that Miss McLaren owes you $10,000. There's no agreement here that I can look at and say, yep, Miss McLaren took on that responsibility and failed to follow through with it, and therefore has to.
Yeah, we didn't have it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
The evidence is not strong enough for that. So unfortunately for you, I'm going to find in favor of Miss McLaren.
Okay.
And there just is no award. Okay, I've written that up as a judgment,
Okay.
and the clerk will make a copy for you since you're here.
Okay.
And then Miss McLaren and the clerk will file that into the court file, and you can get that copy of that judgment anytime.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, now we'll conclude your case.
I also wanted to include a screenshot from a Facebook post that Cassie Williams made regarding the wedding venue. I just thought that the word choice was a little over the top. She genuinely says, "Do not rent this venue. Your marriage will not be honored by the Lord." This is a lady with a serious grudge. All right, let me know in the comments what you thought. Until next time.